We're also picking up from our sources that central bank had voiced concerns to the FinMin, the PMO, over the bank's exposure to telecom companies. Nayantara joining us with more on that. Nayantara?
So we understand from our sources is that the Reserve Bank of India and of course the banks are naturally very, very worried. Just look at the telecom companies' exposure when it comes to the banking sector. Now, Bharti Airtel is, of course, very safe. Just a few days back, it raised nearly $2 billion to take care of this problem. But we can't say that for Vodafone Idea. 1 lakh crore rupees in debt. It may have to shell out 44,000 crore rupees in AGR as per the Supreme Court verdict. If you look at its net debt to EBITDA, it's at 20x. It happens to 35x if it's to go to the market. It's not sustainable. The banks can't have such a large company defaulting. It'll go to NCLT. It'll only add more trouble to the banking sector. As it is, we're still struggling to see credit offtake increase, particularly in the private sector banks. SBI's exposure. Pull up HDFC as well. See HDFC's exposure to the telecom sector as well. So what I'm being told by my sources is that the Reserve Bank of India has raised its concerns to the highest offices in New Delhi, the Prime Minister's office, as well as the Finance Ministry. The banks are naturally very, very worried, and they have made a case to the government that instead of having defaults, instead of the banking sector getting into a further mess, is it possible to give relief to the telecom company? Now, they can't make suggestions for waiving off and penalties and interest and all of that. So what they're asking for is that if you have to charge at all, if you take these payments at all, can it be stretched? Can you elongate the timeline? Make it an 8-year period so that the pain is not felt as much. It becomes easy. They can tide over. It'll mean much smaller amounts that will have to be paid every year. So that's as far as this goes. And, this is a case that's going to be made very closely as well. That it's not just the telecom companies. It could have a cascading impact onto the banking sector at large, which will then impact the larger economy. As far as AGR goes, adjusted gross revenues. After this entire mess, it seems the government is re-looking at considering the possibility maybe of redefining AGR. Should the companies be paying on their entire top line, which includes revenues from a whole host of other businesses, that they may be in ancillary businesses, real estate, all of that. So maybe the definition will also be tweaked, but that will be prospective in nature. Of course, the alarm bells are ringing. Let's see what the government does, if it's going to intervene at all. If not for the telecom sake, at least the banking sector's sake.